In the previous video, we learned what a system of linear equation is and how its solution looks like on an xy plane or a graph. We also learned the elimination method of solving the system of linear equations. I would suggest that you do check that video for a better understanding. In this video, we will cover the substitution method of solving system of linear equations. Alright, let's start. In the substitution method, we actually have to make one subject. Unlike the elimination method we used to subtract it by modifying one of these equations, we have two equations and we take one equation and have one subject like x or y. Let's make x as a subject of this equation. So to make x a subject, we have x plus y equals to 4. We subtract y on both sides, we get x plus y minus y equals to 4 minus y. Then it becomes x, these both cancel out or become 0, plus 0 is equal to 4 minus y. This becomes x equals to 4 minus y. Okay, we have x as the subject of equation 1. Let's label it. This is equation 2. We just rearranged this equation and we got what x is. X is 4 minus y. So when we know x is equal to 4 minus y, then we can just replace this x with this x. We will put the 4 minus y over here in place of this. Let's do it. In the second equation, we have our x, and for x we will do 4 minus y equals to minus 2. So when we open these brackets, we get 4 minus y equals to minus 2, then 4 minus 2y minus y becomes 2y minus 2y equals to minus 2, and then like we learned in how to solve the linear equations, we have to get this y alone. So to get it alone, we subtract 4 on both sides. So 4 minus 2y equals to minus 2 minus 4. This becomes, okay, it's actually minus 4. I mistakenly made that y. Okay, 4 minus 4 cancel out, becomes 0, and becomes minus 2y equals to minus 2 minus 4, it becomes minus 6. And then we get, when we divide by minus 2 on both sides, we get y equals to minus 6 over minus 2. Minus cancel out and y becomes 3. Okay, here we have our y equals to 3, and to get our solution we put y in any of these equations, equation 1 or equation 2. Let's put that in equation 1. We get x plus 3 equals to 4. Okay, so we subtract minus 3 on both sides. We subtract 3 on both sides, we get x equals to 4 minus 3. We subtract 3 over here, we get x equals to 1. Okay, so here is our solution, which is 1 comma 3. X is 1 and y is 3. Okay, in the second example, we'll do the same way. Let's make x the subject, because here we know that we have one variable over here. Alright, let's make y the subject to make it more complex, and so you get how to do some complex questions. Let's make y the subject. We take y and subtract x on both sides in this equation. Let's label it equation 1 and equation 2. We subtract x on both sides, we get x equal to 7 minus x. So we have our equation 1. We did all these 3 steps in one step. We subtract x on both sides, so don't get confused. Okay, so let's put this equation 1 in this equation, this y over here. So here we have x plus 2 times y. Y is this, so 2 times 7 minus x. This is equals to 4. Alright, we will multiply this bracket down. This is equation 2. Okay, so when we multiply the 2 with all the things in the bracket, we get x plus 2 times 7 is 14 plus 14 minus 2 times minus x is minus 2x equals to 4. Okay, so we have two terms in x minus 2x, which becomes minus x plus 14 equals to 4. So when we subtract 14 on both sides, we get this 0 minus x plus 0 equals to 4 minus 14. 4 minus 14, when we subtract minus 14, we subtract 14 from 4, we get minus 10. Okay, so minus cancel out. We actually divide by minus 1 on both sides, so these both minus signs cancel out, it becomes plus. We get x equals to 10. Okay, so here we get x equals to 10, and we have to see which equation we can put this x to get a y. This one seems easy because it has less multiplication. It has no multiplication at all. This one has 2, that's multiplying with y. So to have less steps, we put this x in this equation. Let's do it. X, which is 10, plus y equals to 7. So to get this y alone, we subtract 10 on both sides. 10 minus 10 plus y equals to 7 minus 10. These both become 0. Plus y equals to 7 minus 10 is equal to minus 3. Y equals to minus 3. And our solution is, we have x is equal to 10 and y is equal to minus 3, which becomes 10 comma minus 3. This is our solution. Okay, let's move on to a bit more complex example. This one is indeed complex. Here we have all the terms being multiplied with one variable, so it's difficult to make one subject. Let's take an equation. Let's take this equation and make this y the subject. Let's make y the subject of this equation 1. This is equation 2. Okay, so 5x plus 2y equals to 3. I'm just rewriting it. Okay, so get this y alone, we will subtract 5x from both sides. It becomes 2y equals to 3 minus 5x. Okay, so to get this y alone, we divide by 2 on both sides. When we divide 2 from here, it becomes 1, which gives us y equals to 3 minus 5x divided by 2. Okay, here we have our y. This y is, we have to put this y over here. This is equation 1. We can make our subject from any equation. It's not necessary that we make our subject from the first equation. Take the x or y from the first equation. We can take any from this equation as well. We can make this x the subject or this y the subject. Okay, so we have our y. We put this y in our second equation. So 4x plus 2 times this whole y. 3 minus 5x divided by 2 equals to 4. Okay, so here we can see that 2 is being divided by 2. So we can cancel this 2 out, which becomes 1. 2 times 1 is 2. This becomes 1. So 4x plus, we can write 1 or we don't, it doesn't make any difference. 3 minus 5x, or let's write 1 for better understanding. And this becomes 4. We multiply 1 with this bracket and open it. We get 4x plus 1 times 3 is 3. And 1 times minus 5x is minus 5x equals to 4. We have two terms in x, so we just add them. 4x minus 5x, we get minus x plus 3 equals to 4. And we subtract 3 on both sides. We get minus x plus 3 minus 3 equals to 4 minus 3. And here this becomes 0. We have minus x equals to 4 minus 3 is 1. We multiply, we divide by minus 1 on both sides. or we multiply with minus 1 on both sides to get rid of this minus sign. In short, when you have minus sign with the variable in any question, you can just get rid of it by multiplying with minus 1 on that side, because when we multiply with minus 1 over here, it becomes positive, so we get an x equals to minus 1. This minus sign jumps over here, like in this question we did. Yeah, this over here, it was minus x minus 10. So when we multiply with minus 1 over here and here, we get positive 10 and positive x. Here we had a positive and here we had negative. This negative become positive and this positive become negative. So we have our x is equal to minus 1, and we put this x in the equation we feel most easy with. Let's take equation 2. We have 4 times this x, it is minus 1, plus 2y equals to 4. So 4 times minus 1 is minus 4, plus 2y equals to 4. We add 4 on both sides to get rid of this. We have to have this y alone. So when we add 4 on both sides, minus 4 plus 2y is equal to 4 plus 4. And this becomes 0, and we get 2y equals to 4 plus 4 is 8. We divide 2 on both sides. 2y divided by 2 is equal to 8 divided by 2. This becomes 1. And 8 divided by 2 is 4. We get a y equals to 4. And our solution is x comma y. That is a solution, and x is minus 1 and y is 4. So that's it about the substitution method. I hope you get it. I tried to get the 3 examples with some increasing difficulties. Here we had all the as addition and subtraction, no multiplication. Here we involved the multiplication in an easier question, and then we had this complex question. I hope you get it. You can find the links of other videos in the description below. Do subscribe to the channel and see you next time.